Good afternoon, TechNation editor John Wallace here. I'm excited today because it's Webinar Wednesday and we have our good friends from Imaging Solutions joining us with a new innovative platform called XperTIS. It is designed to revolutionize supply chain management, engineer performance, and system monitoring. The platform enhances system uptime by enabling system monitoring and equipping engineers with diagnostic capabilities to identify and resolve issues. A library of step-by-step video tutorials and instructions are available to engineers, guiding them through installations and repairs. The ability to order parts directly, track shipments, and manage RMAs streamlines the parts ordering process. With a focus on efficiency and empowerment, Imaging's platform ensures equipment runs at peak performance, reduces downtime, and optimizes supply chain operations, setting a new standard for the industry. Okay, now it's trivia time. That's right, it's time to give away a multi-tool. Question today: March is National Celery Month. Which U.S. state is the largest producer of celery? All right, you can answer that using the questions feature on your dashboard, and we will pick one of the correct answers as our winner later in the webinar. Now, I want to remind everyone that today's presentation is eligible for 1 CE credit from the ACI. 1 hour after the end of today's broadcast, you will receive an emailed survey. Completing that survey will grant access to a certificate that you can download and print from your computer. We will wrap up today's broadcast with a Q&A. Please note that the webinar dashboard includes a questions feature, and you can submit your questions to our presenter at any time during the demo. Today's presentation is sponsored by Imaging, and it is presented and moderated by Imaging Solutions Vice President of Operations, John Drew. John, you may begin whenever you are ready.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the introduction. So I'm John Drew over at Imaging Solutions. We're based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and we're excited to introduce you to our new platform today. And I wanted to take just a minute and give you a brief history about how this came about. So Imaging started as a parts company, and we had an internal platform that we built that managed our parts, managed our inventory, our sales, returns, that type of thing. And then sometime into our business, we acquired a service company. So on the service side, we had another platform. So now we had 2 different platforms. One we were using for the parts side of the business, and one we were using for the service side of the business. And we spent some time making those things talk together, and that's really great. And then we came out with a monitoring platform to monitor equipment and do a couple other things, which you'll see in the video today. I'm just kind of introducing you to it right now, explaining how this came to be. So we decided to incorporate all of these things into a single platform, which made transparency of data much better for our teams internally. So all of this was being used internally. The next step was to use this to improve what we call our customer experience, when they were having transactions with us. In other words, we wanted to make it easier to do business, and we wanted to provide all the data that we could to our customers and provide it in a real-time format, or very close to real-time format. So there's a lot of, call and find out what the status of your parts are, your order shipped, and all of that. And we wanted to just become really transparent. So we created an interface into our world for you to take a look at. It's a place where the customers can see all of these different offerings that we have in a single place. So you have, a single log on, and you can see where your transactional data is. You can see the status of contract information that you may have with us, any service data. So service events that you have us doing for you, you can look right into those service events. And if you have systems that are being monitored with us, we have a tool for you to not only see what's going on your monitoring, but also to help you actually affect the repair that is needed on the system. And of course, for ordering parts and that type of stuff. So there already exist, monitoring systems out there that we're probably familiar with that, they give you a dashboard, we call it, and they show you logs. But we wanted to give our engineers something different, a little more than that, because that does exist currently. So we developed a way to help you actually affect the repair on the system via these videos and things. So I'm really excited about showing this to you today. So in the end, this is designed to do a few things. First, we want to offer transparency of data to our customers, and we want them to be able to see the status of not only their parts orders and their equipment statuses, their contracts. We want to be able to see it all now in real time on a single platform. That's what we've been doing. And this helps us to establish really a strong relationship with our customers, because not only do you know that you've placed an order, but you can see right where it is in the process of being shipped or being received if it has been. And in the end, we believe this will increase the uptime of your systems, and it's going to reduce your overall service cost. And who doesn't want that? So here with me today is James Kuykendall. James, say hi there.
Hey guys.
James is our Director of Operations.
Yeah, Director of Service.
The whole United States.
Yes.
Yep, and we also have Luke over here. Say hi, Luke.
Hello.
Luke is our Director of Software Development. He is the lead engineer on all of our software design, build, implementation. And so I'm happy to have both of them on with me today. So what I would like to do is we put together a short video for you. So we're going to run this video that you can take a look at. And then after that, we're going to come back and we're going to be here to answer any questions that you may have, or show you something that you saw you may be interested in, whatever it is. So after the video, we'll be right back with you. And with that, I would like to turn it over to run the video.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is John Drew. I'm with Tri-Imaging Solutions.
I'm James Kuykendall, Director of Service. What we're here to do today is talk about XperTIS platform. We have launched a cutting-edge platform that enhances the supply chain management, engineer performance, and it gives you some system monitoring. It provides the engineer with diagnostic tools and video tutorials to help you guide you through different repairs that you have on your system. Streamlines part ordering and tracking of those parts. It's an extremely cool tool. So let's jump in and get started. Here we're going to jump into, we're going to simulate that we are a facilities manager or an engineer. So here on this screen, as a director of service, I'd be looking at a lot of data every morning and every night. Here on the left, we have the equipment status. You can see there's an error, some online. I'd quickly look at this stuff daily. In the middle, you'll see part statuses, different parts that have been ordered, different parts that's been shipped, etc. You continue to the right, and you can see that there's a couple of work orders. One system is down, one system is up. It gives you a lot of details right here at your fingertips, right on the front page. A lot of information that is extremely useful that you'll be able to drill down into and capture further information for each device, each subcategory. So going through some of this explanation here, we've got over on the left, we have a dashboard, which we're currently looking at. If you continue down, this portion here is more on the supply chain side, but maybe you don't have that supply chain to help support you, and you've got an engineer that needs to order his own parts. So you can actually do that from this tool. We'll go over the details of this, so the orders, credits, and returns once we get over there, but you can see that here on this screen. Continuing down this tree, you can see your equipment that is being monitored and any tickets, both old and current, that have been done with Tri-Imaging. You can actually go and view those tickets in real time. So any notes or details that are on the ticket at the time you're looking at it is the actual last note and detail that is actually input into the ticket. Extremely cool. And again, right there at your fingertips, real time. Further down, we have API data. We'll go over that a little bit later. So let's jump in. Here on the left, you see the equipment, and as a director, the first thing that I would notice is the system in error. For this demonstration, we'll jump into the online system first. We'll get to that system with the error a little bit later. Here in Bay 35, you can see that we have a GE CT Optima 660 that's currently being monitored. And you can actually drill into this system. While you're here, you can see there is a lot of information to the right in the logs. You can filter through this real time. You don't have to be on the system. Your service engineer can look at this before he gets to the site, can make sure that everything is functioning and flowing properly, can make sure the system is operating optimally. To the left, you can get, there's so much details here that is super useful for all of us. You can capture tube information, detector information. Here on this main screen of the equipment summary, you can see that we're kind of anticipating the estimated remaining tube life of the system. This one is in pretty good shape, but it gives you kind of a forecast to let you know when you're going to need a tube, and so you can ensure that you're ready for that once it comes. We'll get up to that aired system now. All right, over in base 17, we can see we have a whole logic Mammo Selenia dimensions that's being monitored. It currently has an error. Again, on the right, a lot of data, looks a little different. On the left, again, you have all that information. You can actually, you need to know the serial number, go grab it from this tool. You need to have tube information, detector information, etc. Just jump in the tool and grab it. It's right there. While we're here, we see this little toolbox to the right. We'll go ahead and jump into one of these. We give you a lot of details here under the details section. This one particularly points at a X-ray tube and our collective data over the years that we've been servicing this particular machine has all leaned to, hey, look, we're very confident in this particular case that it's an X-ray tube. So we've given you a lot of information about changing an X-ray tube. What does it take? What do you need? We've built this to help your engineers, both very experienced and not so experienced. So if you have an engineer going to a site and they're not very experienced, they're still going to be able to walk through this. We've given you, information on how to remove the covers. We've given you information on how to do the tube replacement. We've given you information on how to do the tube calibrations. Just for a quick demo, we'll jump into the replacement of the tube. So we've captured this video to help you out through this process. There it is. Sorry, guys. Right here we have our instructor here on the details to help you replace the tube, remove covers, and complete the job. You're able to send an engineer that's capable of doing this, and we've given you a lot of assistance right here within this tool. Jump out of here, and while you're here, you can see that there has been a part ordered for this particular device. Here's the order number. Under this order number, you can quickly see over here to the right that an X-ray tube has been ordered. That makes sense. We just saw an X-ray tube failure. Okay, so the tube's been ordered. Let's look at the order summary. In this order summary, it gives you just a ton of details again. Who ordered it? What's the PO number? Where's it headed? Even below, we've given you tracking information and a hyperlink to FedEx or whoever with the tracking details. This particular part has already been delivered. And you can look at this real time. You log onto the tool, you're at one site, you're needing to see if your part's delivered. Okay, you can pull up the tool and verify that right then immediately. Now let's go ahead and jump back to the main dashboard. Again, you can continue to the right. You can go over any parts that have been quoted, shipped, or open. We'll go over more of that in the supply chain side, but you can see that here as well. Further to the right, you can see that there's currently a system down and a system up. You can go into those tickets and drill into that information. So you can see real time where we're at with it, what's going on with it. Any information that's been added will all be right here at your fingertips. There's a couple of different ways you could click to each one of these categories. You could use these. You could go through the dashboard itself. It's all right here on how you want to navigate. So since we're done with that portion of it, we'll go ahead and jump into the supply chain side. And here we are. So we're logged in as the supply chain manager. And what we have here is the same thing. We have more details around parts, a lot of details around parts. We'll quickly go over the dashboard that you're viewing right now. You can see any past invoiced parts. You can see parts that have currently been shipped, parts that are quoted to you, etc. A lot of information there to the left. A little bit further right, you have credits and different reviewed or pending credits, etc. And then further to the right, any returns. So you can see what the status of those are at the moment that you're wanting to navigate into those things. So let's go to the left here. Under the dashboard, that's what we're currently looking at. You can see that there. Another links here to basically the same navigation to the dashboard that you're looking at. Let's jump into that. Hey, we want to go ahead and order that part now. Right here, you just click add. You know that you need to order an X-ray tube. It actually tells you the part number. Once you click in a few characters, you can navigate through and filter through and find out what you need to order. You've added it. Do you need to add any more parts? It's just as simple as clicking the add button and adding whatever other parts you need for this particular order. If you're done with it, you'd come up here, you'd hit the submit button to get this out for quoting, and we get back to you. Yeah, so back over here. Let's jump into quoted. So we can see what has been quoted. We can see the status of that. Needed a flat filled Phantom. Do you want to finalize this particular order? Do you want to accept the quote and get this thing moving? Just as simple as clicking the button. Let's go into the invoice next. Yeah, and all these are filterable. We can kind of dig through this data. Let's jump into the first one on the page. Right here, we're looking at a particular order that had multiple parts on it. We've got several parts that were ordered, and you can quickly jump into the summary of the order. In here, you can see again who ordered it, the purchase number, etc. If the part's been delivered, etc. With the hyperlink to the tracking information. We know that this one has been finalized. It's invoiced, so it will give you a different status here on this tab. Also gives you warranty rates. So you can see how many were valid, how many were not valid, and you can jump into this. You can see the status of it at that moment. Really cool, guys. This is super handy. Again, gives you a lot of control over your system, over everything that you've got. Lastly, We'll log out of here and we'll jump into being the administrator. Gives you all the same visibilities as a facility manager, but it gives you the one differentiator is you're kind of in control of all things. So you give access to who you want to have access to, and you make sure that they have the access that you want to give them. So if you have a regional manager, you can give them several accounts. If you have a site manager, you can give them a single account. If you have 3 engineers, you can give them access to the sites that they're at. You're in control of all this. You've got an administrator. You're handling your site. If you want to take away access, you want to give them more access, etc. It's right there. You can do it. Really cool tool. Super excited about it. Gives you a lot of freedoms, gives you a lot of control, gives you a ton of visibility. Very helpful. I know I'm super excited that it's finally getting out there. I'm excited to have it and continue using it. Glad it's out on the market. Think it's going to make an impact.
Hey, well, James, we really appreciate you giving us a run through of the program today. And I think what we'll do now is we're going to open it up to questions. So
Fantastic. That was a great video, and I'm glad that we have y'all here to take some questions. Let's see, one question we had come in was, how is it different than other systems?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
That's it. There we go. Okay. So how is it different than other systems? What we've done is we've done a few things. First, we brought them all together. So we integrated our service, our parts, and then the monitoring and repairs all into one system. We made an interface that we believe is easy to use, fairly intuitive and straightforward. And the data that we give you, I think, is really good data. There we go.
All right. You ready for the next question?
Sure.
We had this question come in regards to ordering parts. I see that the interface identifies which part is likely needed, but does it perform comparative analysis to determine the correct revision of the part based on the known parameters of the parent device, i.e. software revision or liquid bearing versus metal bearing tubes, etc.? It looks like the interface directs the user to the supply chain interface to order the parts. Does this portion provide real-time parts stock availability? And can we determine shipping speed through the interface? Also, what data does the interface rely on to determine if the system is up or down? So very long question there.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm not sure I got it all, but I'll give it a shot and you can tell me where I didn't. So first, does it determine the part number of the part that you need or the rev of the part that you need? No, it determines what the part number is based on what system you have and our database of what parts are located or are found on that system. So it will get you the part number. You would still have to validate a rev number if that was the case, if that makes sense. As far as the errors go, over on the right-hand side on my screen, I've filtered to the severity of a primary error. I can set what I'm looking for here, and if I clear that severity from primary, then it'll show me all of the, for the GECT anyway, it's like the task log information, and with the event codes and where it's coming from. And can you give me some other pieces to that question, please?
Of course. It looks like interface directs the user to the supply chain interface to order the parts. Does this portion provide real-time part stock availability? And can we determine shipping speed through the interface?
So yes, it does. Let me look over here. So when you're looking at a part order, you can order the part here. Was the question about shipping? You'll have your contact, how you want to have it shipped, who you want to have it shipped to. What we've done, in general, what we've done is when you call us, or normally when you call our office and you place an order with us, that information goes into our ticket system. And our internal sales system is what we're representing here to the customer. So yes, you're going to see shipping information, all of your customer information, your contacts, where you want to ship it to, all of that information, what the part costs. We do, so whether it's in stock or not, we do, let me show you, I'll give you a little. So if this is like, I was ordering a part, I just brought up a part number. Over here on the left, over here on the right, it shows you inventory and it shows whether it's in stock or not in stock. Was there another part to that one, or did I get it?
We had another question come in, and if we miss something on that, we'll share all the questions with you, and you can reply an email if you want to follow up on something else there.
That'd be
But we had
great.
another question come in, and it says, who makes the decision on which part is ordered after the quotes are in? Is it price only, or can the servicing person offer his suggestion based on his experience?
So the actual ordering of the part is submitted through the facility dashboard I'm looking at right here. So it could be the engineer in a small facility that adds his own parts for ordering in here. So even though, we are showing you what we think the part is, you're still going to have to order that part in here. And once you submit the request for a quote, we will respond with a quote. And if you can see over to the right here, the price will be filled out. Once the price is filled out, let me just go to one here and I'll show you. Here's a quoted part. Right here, this flat field Phantom shows that it's in stock and it now has a price on it. So my cursor is hovering over a tab that says finalize order. So it would ultimately be the engineer or the supply chain manager or whoever that is making the decision as to whether or not they want to finalize the order. And we're going to have, and we don't have yet, is a chat feature, which you'll see on the next rev of this.
Basically, I think to answer the question, if the service engineer wants to have input on which part is ordered, that would be done in-house inside the facility. They could talk to either they're ordering the part themselves or whoever's ordering the part, they could make sure they let them know what their suggestion is.
Sure, absolutely. We're not ordering anything automatically. It's still the customer requesting the part.
Gotcha. Another question we had is, what manufacturers and modalities are you currently monitoring?
Yeah, that's a great question. So currently we're monitoring GECT and we're monitoring Hologic Mammo. And the next on our list looks like it will be Siemens CT. That's a great question. Yeah.
Is the goal to eventually, include all manufacturers, I guess?
Well, I don't know about all, but we will continue to expand it based on what our customers are telling us they want to hear. These were the first two because these are the ones that we had the most requests for. So really this thing, y'all, this thing is really customer driven. So we take all the input that we get is for as many times as we've demoed it and all the customers that we've spoke to, and it really is customer driven. So when we hear from you and we hear it a number of times, we implement it into our platform.
That makes sense. Are you seeing any PHI?
Oh, that's another really good question. So our monitoring, we are not seeing any PHI. As a matter of fact, we are preventing it from looking anywhere except for the explicit information that we're asking for. So the answer to that is no, we are not.
And you may have touched on this already, but how do you do the monitoring of the system? What is the installation process?
Yeah, that is good. So our installation process is one that I think Luke has done a phenomenal job on. We've made it really easy. So what we'll do when we monitor is we have a USB device that you can use. I mean, you can do it manually too, but we've made it such that you can put our device in the network, and then you can load our USB device, and it will take care of setting the system up and programming the device and allowing the monitoring. So it's a pretty automated process.
And then another question we had, is it one-way or two-way communication? In other words, are you pushing data to the system?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Luke, are you on here? You want to take that one?
Yeah, sure, I can take that. So the devices that we install at the facilities, we can't contact them. They pull information from the imaging systems and send it to us. Aside from that, they pull information from us to get their configuration, but we can't initiate that connection, and we can't remote into the devices either. I hope that helps.
And then does the Tri-Imaging XperTIS, does it integrate with a CMMS?
Okay, that's a good question too. So we have over on the left, James had mentioned the API, and I have that right here. We use one called Swagger, and this is something that we are continually working on right now, and that the team is working on. So we put the data there that it can be exported into another system, but it's up to the customer to like actually bring it into their system. Luke, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, sure. So this whole front end that you're seeing, it's developed with a service-oriented architecture, and that's kind of what you got a glimpse of when John navigated to the API section there. We're trying to follow the RESTful patterns and whatnot, and ultimately, what we feel like is if we create a good API, we can use it not only for our front end, but any customer that would like to integrate could also leverage it.
Okay, that sounds exciting. And then one question we had come in is, what are the costs associated with the platform?
It always comes down to that, doesn't it? No, that's a great question. What I would do is I would refer you to our sales team for that, to be honest with you. But I can tell you that if you're doing business with us, the supply side dashboard where you can see all of your orders and all of that, and if you're doing service with us, the service dashboard, I believe those are just gratuitous, those are free, and the monitoring is where you would incur the cost. But our sales team would definitely be a better contact for that.
And following up on that, someone asked, is the software tool supplied to your existing customers who buy parts from you, or is this a management tool for the hospital customer?
This is for our current customers, yes. This is for our customers that do business with us right now. Now, no, don't misunderstand. If somebody is looking for the monitoring piece of it, then that would be implemented with the facility dashboard. You just wouldn't see some of the information, like you wouldn't see your orders if you're not ordering parts from us, or you wouldn't see your service tickets if you're not doing service with us. But the monitoring of your equipment and the repair procedures and that is integrated into that dashboard.
Right. We have another question that came in that, to be honest, I don't understand. It's over my head, and I'm okay saying that, but I feel like y'all can probably answer it. The question is, in order to increase the acuity of resolution recommendations, do you close the loop with feedback about what actually resolved the issue? This would feed the machine learning algorithm to provide the most accurate recommendations. If so, are the resolutions tied to specific error codes or free text reported device problem statements?
Yeah, so the way we came up with these errors that you're seeing currently are one from our, our many years of knowledge. And another one is we have the service side of the business does many service events. So all of that information that we can gets integrated to change like our percentages. In the future, we'll see more of a learning model involved, but right now, most of that information is coming from past repairs and current knowledge, if that makes sense. Luke, you have anything to add to that, or does that sound good?
No, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. We're using our almost millennium of information that we've collected through our service side and even our internal part side to figure out what we should use or to resolve an issue. But to John's point, we'll certainly explore automated means for learning and see if that helps us along the way.
This is a good question, I think. Does the vendor approve of the changes to their devices for transmission of data? In other words, I guess they're asking, like, is GE okay with you putting this into their device?
Yeah, so we're not really putting anything into their device. We're not changing their device. I understand what they're saying, but we're not putting anything in GECT. This is information they provide.
Gotcha. And then how can someone manage multiple sites, and how can someone limit the facilities someone can access?
Good question too. Luke, you want to talk to users?
Yeah, sure. So if you navigate, John, over to the bottom left menu option there, oh, you're not in as an administrator. If you can log in as an administrator,
I'm going in right now.
There's a mechanism for determining which users are assigned to particular facilities, and you can kind of leverage it to create regions, if you will, where you might have user A who is assigned to all of the Northwest facilities, and so they'll only see the equipment, tickets, and orders for that particular set of facilities, much like what John's showing right here. This particular user is only going to see the information for these two facilities listed here. And if they don't have any facilities listed or specified here, then they'll see everything.
Yeah. So it is broke down for, I think James had mentioned in the video, you can use it for regional, you can use it for, local, or it's just a matter of what sites and locations that the user has privileges to see. And I'll add to that, when the customer selects this, they have their own user admin. So they would be able to assign their own equipment to people within their facility. That's not something that we have to manage for them. So we'll give them a user, and that user will assign sub-users, I'll call it, or equipment out to other people. It's a good question.
All right. And then someone asked, do I get notifications when a system goes down or has an error?
Yeah, so we're exploring a number of ways to do that. That is a good question too. Right now, you see we have the error listed for you on your face, or on your on the card right here under equipment. We also have it over on the right. It'll show you if you have an equipment in error, or if you have open service tickets that are down. We are investigating the emails. The thing with the emails is we're parsing what is good to send an email for. For example, for you engineers that are out there, I'm gonna go to this Bay 35 here and look at this log. All of these you see are primary errors on the right, meaning the severity of primary means it's supposed to be a big deal. But we know that this slip ring communications, for example, they were shutting this system down and bringing it back up. We don't want it to send you an error just because it's a primary error. So we're currently working with that to determine how we want to set our email notifications specifically.
Okay. And how often does it pull information, or in other words, how up to date is the information that I'm seeing on the dashboard?
Good, that's a good question too. So currently we're pulling information every 10 to 20 minutes. So it's fairly current. That's pretty current. Yeah, 10
And
to 20.
that's for the remote monitoring side. The orders, returns, credits, that's all, as soon as it's in there, you'll see it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to encourage everyone, if you have a question, now is your chance. Please send it in on the question feature. We do have another one here that asks, how many replacement procedures do you have for a system? And I guess they're talking about the videos that y'all were showing earlier.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're talking about probably. We have all of the major components for all of the major FRUs for the Hologic Mammo and the GECT. So I'm going to say it's maybe 20 parts each, and we're continually adding to it. It'll continue to grow. We started with all of the major big pieces and are working our way down to the smaller ones. Good question too.
All right, and it looks like we have a follow-up question to a previous question. Based on error codes or reported issues in free text, it's an important distinction when the recommendations are generated by the machine logs.
Yeah, error codes is the answer to that.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
those are
sorry, I
all the
wasn't
questions.
specific on that earlier. Sorry.
Well, those are all the questions I have. I want to remind everyone that there are handouts in the dashboard. So please be sure to check out those handouts. And I also want to remind everyone that we are currently accepting nominations for the 40 under 40 at TechNation magazine. So you can go to onetechnation.com/2025 40 under 40 and nominate yourself or someone else to be among the 40 under 40 this year.
Nice.
That's
That's not me
exciting. We always
anymore.
like to, yeah, no, I would be maybe in the 40 over 40, but I don't even think I'm in the top 40. So
That's
thank you,
great.
Tri-Imaging Solutions, for sponsoring today's webinar. Tri-Imaging Solutions is a comprehensive provider of diagnostic imaging parts, technical support, and service solutions, headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee. With over a decade of proven success in the industry, they deliver quality tested imaging parts, expert technical assistance, and nationwide services. In addition, they are home to a premier medical image training institution, equipping professionals with the skills they need to excel. For more information, visit triimaging.com. That's TRIimaging.com. Quickly, the winner of today's multi-tool is Keith Hall in Utah. The correct answer for the U.S. state that grows the most celery is California. Now, a quick reminder that you can obtain your CE certificate for one CE by completing the post-webinar survey. Survey will be emailed 1 hour from right now. You must complete the survey to receive your one CE credit from the ACI, and you will be able to download the certificate directly from your computer once the survey is submitted. If you have any questions, you can reach us through email at webinar@mdpublishing.com. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Tri-Imaging, for a great presentation, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Take
Hey,
care.
guys.